Now, some of you older folks out there might remember things called books or even magazines. Anyway, here's a magazine, car-toons. Now, this is back from 1987, and this was the Canadian version, sold for $2. It's car-toons. Get it? They're like comics, so cartoons, but they're about cars. You see there's like flames shooting out of there. That's pretty awesome. And wheels. This one has an America lift out poster inside. So I guess they mean this, which is like it's a map that shows like all different kinds of like collector's cars and like cool cars and stuff, or cars that everybody thought was cool in 1987. Yeah, but you know, if you're into that kind of stylized, like it's kind of stylized art, it's like, we're going so fast, it's so cool, this is such a badass car, and like, and all the stories and stuff are all about people tuning up cars and going on adventures and racing against each other in the desert and crazy locations. And ooh, look at this, it's like a sci-fi vehicle or something. And but you know, fantasy cars. Here we got true car-toons, like you know, it's like little one panel comics and stuff, and I probably wouldn't even get most of the jokes because I don't care, like, but hey, it's cartoons. This is I remember this more from the 70s actually, but this is from 87, so they were still making this well into the 80s. Again, this is one of those things that I picked up because I thought, well, I don't really like this, but I know some people that might like this. If they don't, whatever, but you know, it's kind of cool and collectible. I mean, this thing is like, come on, man, this thing's like 33 years old. So this is older than a lot of the people watching this video. And wouldn't you want to take a little snapshot? Like, let's say you are into cars. Wouldn't you want to take a little snapshot of the humor that was going around, or you know, knowledge, or just the whole car experience back in 1987? Car-toons. If you like cars, you'll love car-toons. Speaking of reading, kids, who better to teach you how to read than Skeletor and He-Man, the masters of the universe? At first I thought this was like one of those record book things or whatever, but no, it's this is past that era. You know what I'm talking about, the ones with the record in it, and it'd be in the back cover, and it'd be a little sleeve with a record in it, and then you would read along with the book and listen to the soundtrack, which was awesome. But they stopped doing that by the time they got to this. The Sword of Skeletor. Now, this is like original adventures. I think this predates the cartoon. As a matter of fact, I'm pretty sure it does. Or if it doesn't predate it, it was simultaneous with the cartoon. It has nothing to do with the cartoon. Unfortunately, I mean, I have the first in the series, which is great. But unfortunately, I think I'm missing some pages. Because that, to me, doesn't look like that should be the opening page. There should be, like, we should be able to see his tail and stuff, and then there'd be, like, another page right here, and then on the opposite side of that, there'd be another page, right? So that looks like it's missing because, and the reason I think that is probably because the back page, I mean, the story doesn't really conclude here. Skeletor grabs a sword, swings at He-Man. Sorry. Gonna have to buy the next book, I guess. Or, you know, get a copy that actually has the last page. So it's missing like the front and the back page, so that sucks. But I mean, it's pretty cool actually. Like, you know, check out the art. I guess He-Man's been paralyzed by some spell that Skeletor's cast on him. Then we enter Beastman. He's here to fuck shit up. You'll never succeed, He-Man. And, you know, once I pull this lever, I don't know. It's okay. Like, if you like Masters of the Universe and He-Man and all that stuff, which I think it's actually hilarious. It's stupid, but, you know, there's some pretty good fantasy in the Masters of the Universe, don't you think? Like, it's all like Skullface guy, and he works with all these like henchmen, are all like, they all got like a gimmick or something. This guy's like a beast. One guy's like a bumblebee, and you got another guy that breathes underwater. He's a merman, and actually that's his name, is Merman. And you got a guy that like is a clone of He-Man, and a guy that's a cyborg, another guy that's like a cyclops, and I mean, when it comes to variety of characters, Masters of the Universe wins totally. And I got this, the Little Golden Book adaptation of Star Wars original trilogy. This is the New Hope. I mean, A New Hope. This is the Little Golden version of that. And, it's pretty watered down, pretty childish, pretty kiddie-ish, but it's something to read for your kids to put them to bed or whatever, and hopefully they learn about Star Wars, right? I used to have a full set of these, and at the time, I guess a full set consisted of the episodes 4, 5, and 6, the original trilogy, as well as episodes 1, 2, and 3, the prequel trilogy. And I put them up for sale. Sold the original trilogy ones easy, like in 20 minutes or something like that. But nope, I still got those prequel ones, because who in the hell cares about the prequels? I guess. I remember the Little Golden Books. I think we all do. I mean, these things have been around forever. Like, when I was a kid, it would be like Disney ones, and sometimes even movie ones, but there wasn't any, at least I don't remember any Star Wars ones. I remember the Star Wars record books, but I never had anything like this. I think it's kind of cool. It's like the art is kind of a little more updated, a little more kid-friendly than maybe just pictures from the movie or whatever. But I think, it's probably pretty watered down. I mean, I actually didn't read this whole thing. Here I am criticizing people for not reading, and I can't even read it. This is a 14-page book. Like, there is no new hope for this guy. Then I got this. This I actually did read. Japanese fairy tales. This is a pretty slim book. It's, I guess it's 90 pages. It's got cool art in it, like cool stylized Japanese art in it. I don't know if it's 100% Japanese, but whatever. But the stories are. The story, ancient myths and legends and things like that. There's some cool stories in here. This is a good read. This would actually be a good read for another one of those things to read to your kids to put them to bed. I mean, each story would probably take about maybe 10, 15 minutes to read at the very most. And I haven't read it to my kids because they probably wouldn't appreciate that. They're like teenagers now and they ain't got time for fairy tales. But these are good fairy tales. These are, there's always a little lesson in there, whereas sometimes it's hard to find in more of the Western fairy tales, like, it's a little harder to find the morals of it. Whereas Japanese fairy tales, at least the ones that I read out of this book, all have kind of a point to it. And, they tell you, kind of teach you a little lesson, like a lesson about how not to be a douchebag and how to treat other people with respect and how to view the world and not be a jerk. Everybody needs to read these Japanese fairy tales. Maybe I need to read it again. I don't know. Because I'm a jerk. No, you are a shark. Because if I choose my own adventure, I could be a shark, dude. And I went through this. I only did like one quest in it or whatever. But basically it starts out, you somehow go to see this monk, and he's like, no, I'm going to teach you how to meditate. And now think about your favorite element. And it's like fire, water, air, earth, whatever. And then you pick one of those, and then suddenly you're transported into the body of a creature representative of one of those four elements, and it's pretty dumb. But, look at that title, though. I mean, like, you are a shark. What is this, one of those, like, self-motivational, self-help books that, like, some business guy would buy at, like, Chapters or whatever? You are a shark. No, man. You look more like a mermaid there. Anyway, there's some books I got. Like, I know it's not a lot, but believe me, I actually do invest in reading material every once in a while. And I did read these ones. I skimmed this one. This one, I mean, I know how it turns out, right? I've seen the movie, eh? And this one, I'm just not into cars. So if you're into any of this stuff, hit me up, man. You could be a shark.